Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Oh, where's the rest of the bike? Well, I've been having a bit of trouble with the ignition key during this alternator testing. I tried to squirt some WD-40 in there, and it wasn't kind of going around. It won't even go to park anymore. Is that park lights thing? Yeah, it just won't go there. We'll go to the lock, and then when we're trying the other stuff, the lights weren't coming on, so I'll take the top triple tree clamp off. Kind of fun getting this off. Ended up doing once I got the bolts loosened, did a little bit of persuading in these areas to knock this thing up, and then you have to take the headlight all to pieces to get these wiring things out. There's wiring clamps here, wiring clamps here. They have to come off. And I'll show you the rest of the bike. Looks like it's been in a crash, doesn't it? But this is, you got to take the headlight out so you can get to the plugs to disconnect them. There's a couple of plugs. I think that's the headlight. There's a big blue one. Green one's the ignition switch. And I've got to get in and clean up these because they're corroded. See a bit of verdigris on them. But the rest of the stuff, you've got to take the speedo off. And these you just pull out of those wiring clamps and let them sit. Well, it seems to be okay. I don't see losing any hydraulic fluid with it like this, so they're just going to sit there until I'm done. Right, so this is all part of the ignition switch. They have special bolts here and here that hold it to the top clamp, and the heads break off them, so I'm not going to try and take that off. I think the problem is under here, is where the electrical cable goes in, so I have a deep suspicion these are corroding for some reason. But oh look, they use those special bolts here and here too. Brilliant. So as they're recessed, I'm going to have to drill those buggers out, which will be the next step. Right, I'm just sizing up the size of the drill bit to use. All I've got to do is drill the heads off of these. I should be able to remove this cap, and then I can get pliers or something on the threads to pull them out. I wonder why they made it so awkward. There's really no point. Right. Okay, after drilling for a bit, you can see it's kind of full of chips, so I'm going to empty the chips out so I can see what I'm doing. I don't want to drill too far. They are pretty soft bolts, they're drilling quite easily. So when I got through on the second side, you can see the head of the bolt there, stuck on the drill. It did spring up a bit, so it is spring loaded inside, so I've got to watch out for springs, and there's probably tiny little ball bearings are going to come flying out too. I'll be watching for that. Alright, so let's see what's inside. Oh, the wiring harness is attached to the bottom. Okay, doesn't appear to be any spring there. This is interesting looking. It actually looks pretty clean. Okay, if we take this off, this is driven by the key. These contacts look pretty darn clean. There's wear marks obviously, but no corrosion to speak of. Right, so this is the actual contact piece that came out. There are ball bearings on the back here and they are spring loaded, but they seem to be trapped, so that's nice. They're not falling all over the place. This is the action side where the contact pins. Looks pretty darn good really. I mean, not brand new, but pretty darn close. The wetness you see in here is where I've been spraying WD-40 in. Right, so this is, you can see the copper contacts here. That's where that spring part rolls around on. Here's the two screws I'm going to take out. Got to be careful not to get any of this debris in here, which I'll be cleaning up anyway. Looks like this whole piece comes out because the wiring goes behind it, and it does. But all in all, it's in pretty darn good nick. Okay, so one thing I have to know is what are these screw threads? Well, they are, what's that, 4mm? Okay, so they're 4mm screws. They are, well actually I have some spare ones here that I used when I removed the regulator. They're exactly the right length. They're about 9-10 millimeters long maybe. Okay, for those who want to see how the lock actually works, I've taken out the little plastic cover of this RV, this piece. It just pops right out, nothing holding it in. It's in the off position right now. That's the on switch for where it's on. Notice the lock is not sticking out. Back to the off, and you push down, turn, and there's the bar that comes out. And for some reason my one won't go around any further. Oh, there it goes. It just went to the parking position. And so I've dumped some white lithium grease in here, and I've also noticed, see if I can get it on the camera. Ah, there we go. There's a tiny little hole right there, and I can see the mechanism inside, so I'm going to squirt some white lithium grease in that hole too. Seems like it needs it, but I wasn't going to dismantle this any further. There are screws in the bottom, but I'm not going to take it apart anymore. Fear of losing stuff, so I'm going to put it back together, get some dielectric grease for the contacts and put it in.